What is happening, everybody? Welcome to TopFCTV. We are live with another one, and we got it. I wasn't even going to stream. I was telling these guys beforehand, but then I saw the Manchester United just makes you stream. It makes you come on the cam, on the mic, because they're just a tough team to watch. A tough team to watch, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch. But of course, there's a big match coming up. It is United. It is Liverpool clashing this weekend. I got a big panel today. I have another guy coming on, of course, and it's going to be five of us. Let's please let each other talk, and then we can debate. But look, we're going to talk a little bit Chelsea, a little bit of a preview of this weekend as well. And I want to know Joe's opinion on Graham Potter. He had him in Chelsea, and yeah, let's get started, man. Graham Potter, he's going to be the savior for Manchester United, bro. You are a Ten Hag. I'm talking about Kevin down there. He is a Ten Hag advocate. He gets paid by Ten Hag weekly, to come on the on camera and defend them on everything that he makes. So go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No,
Talk your shit.
That ship has sailed big time.
Oh yeah, why? Because of the elimination of the Champions League. Is that
well,
why?
I haven't been on here in weeks, but dude, it's a clear and obvious that the trust, the players, the like everyone in that club has just said, look, we don't trust the philosophy, and they're putting PR stunts out there, and you can just see that people are turning, and you can see that the players don't want to run. You can see that the players don't want to do this. They don't trust the training techniques that they do, and they complain that they run too much. They complain that their fitness levels are there. They complain that the medical team doesn't do it. If all this is going to be said, then why even still hire this guy?
So Ten Hag is a go for you. He needs to go.
Well, he needed to go the aspect after what was before the. Let me just pull up the results. But before the Bayern Munich defeat, he needed to go after that. If it's just like you can see that this team wants to play when they think they're going to play together. When they don't want to play together, they look like 11 Sunday League players. They just don't have any chemistry. They don't have anything going on for them. It just doesn't look good.
But Scott McTominay came out just the past weekend. He said that everything is amazing and they love the manager.
So we're PR Chester United, bro. We're not Manchester anymore.
Kevin, can I ask you a few questions, boss, about this whole situation? So, what is the biggest issue do you feel with what's going on? Do you feel like it's the lack of implement of a system, or do you feel like it's like the actual level of the players trying to play in the system?
The biggest issue is what? It was a few weeks ago when Ten Hag went on to an interview and he said, I'm not going to play the Ajax way. All right, before we bring up anything, I didn't actually believe that he said that. I was kind of deluded, and I'm going to say this right out and on the live right now. I was deluded, and I said, look, I don't think he's actually saying this for the way. And he's just going to eventually get the players that he needs and get the players back from injury, and we'll play a certain way of football, and we'll try and develop to a possession, pass from the back type of thing. I was deluded, and I was wrong. He literally does not want to play anything to the strengths of the players. He doesn't want to play to the strengths of his own philosophy. He doesn't believe his philosophy that will work at this club anymore. And that's a huge thing. If you are hired off of your resume in any position in the world and you don't have those skill sets anymore, you are not qualified for that position anymore, and you should be moved.
So Kevin, let's talk about the team for a little bit then, right? What do you think that this team, the players in this team, what style of play can this team play? If you're looking at it as a manager with the players that you have, what style of play would you put together for this team?
2 6s and counter pressing. It's the only way to play with the squad team. The only way you can, do you understand? And I'm going to just jump a gun right now. We're going to try and play a single 6 against Liverpool. Do you know how scary that is? Look at this guy, Robin. What is your name, brother?
Cody, because that's Cody, man.
Cody, man. look, brother.
You guys are gonna get smoked. You could already write. You guys are gonna get smoked. I already.
Wait. Let me just
a foregone conclusion that you guys are gonna get smoked.
Joe,
right?
let me finish your point though. Like, look, the only way to play this position is we don't have. All right, just start over. We bought Højlund, right? Our wingers to support Højlund are inside forwards. They're not wingers. What is the point of buying an old school number 9 to give him the ball and try and make chances of him? He has strength, so you give him the ball, try and make a quick turn, and he takes that shot or a header. We have inside forwards that don't release the ball to our attackers and go right to goal. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. Nothing is working. No one understands their role in that.
This has to be a counter-attacking team.
But
I'm gonna. This is my point, right? My whole point behind this is this team is built the way it's built, the type of style of players that they has. Even if you want to put Højlund in that mix when he was at his best, at the times that Højlund was at his best, and even in Italy, he was playing counter-attacking football. Okay, just in this whole idea that this guy who has all these players who really, especially without Lisandro Martinez, who's the one ball playing defender, or even I would potentially put him in the midfield the way that the guy plays on the ball, without him there's no way to outlet your ball other than right over the top. There's no way to outlet it.
I think we know this.
And everyone's trying to make this extreme math of the way that this team is built, but it's not. It's the way it's built is not to play Ajax ball.
But listen, at this point,
counter-attacking football.
But at this point, this team is built to do nothing. This build has nothing, no damn identity.
No, it's not, dude. It's because look at what they did last year, right? All they had to do is play to what the style of what their players were, was counterattacking football. He tried to change it, and now he's getting exposed for what they are. You not getting rid of Harry Maguire and McTominay and them being focal pieces in your season is just screams you have to play counterattacking football.
Can we just talk about though, the issue that we realize is we all blamed, and everyone on this panel knows, we all blamed in the beginning of the season Casemiro was an issue. Now we look at it, Amrabat's an issue. When Manu plays on his own, he's an issue. When you play this type of football with these inside forwards that try and create nothing and have you have 1-6 to try and run that midfield, you're going to get pummeled. And we've done that game after game after game.
But the solution should be put Amrabat and Casemiro in the middle if you want to defend.
But he hasn't done that.
But he could do it this weekend.
I live in Pennsylvania. I'm not on the sideline in Manchester, brother. Yes, every United fan is claiming for an Amrabat and my new midfield.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that.
Give me a second. I gotta introduce the one and only Mohamed Salah to the stream. Wait a minute. What's up, my brother? Welcome, man. Let me fix the damn overlay.
Yo, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. Bit of technical issues and stuff. Forgive me.
It's technical issues, man. He's a busy man. He's famous, in the UK. So
don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't be silly. I just had a few things to get. I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. But no, we were talking about Manchester United and the debacle that they're in right now. And Kevin up here on the corner, he's a Manchester United fan, and he's explained he was back in Ten Hag. He was on Ten Hag's payroll until last week. And now,
yo, relax with the weeks, man.
And now, weren't you? The last time we spoke 2 weeks ago, you said, I'm not on Ten Hag out yet. He needs more time. Did you not say that?
I mean, the last time me and Kevin were on the same stream, he was saying that. But I'm sure that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but can we, that was before the Chelsea game. We went and played Chelsea, a different way of style of football. Then we played Bayern Munich at home, a different style, and then we beating Chelsea. Luton almost can do that right now. this is not a level of talent to do that. Like, they haven't won in 11 years. Come next season,
But let me try to steer this ship a little bit, because right now the topic is whether Ten Hag. What I think is happening right now is we're not going to sack him. Or last week, we're not going to sack him because he's getting eliminated from the Champions League. We're going to wait until he massively loses against Liverpool, and then we're going to sack him in the locker room, and then we're going to bring in whoever our candidate is. That's how sickening some of these teams' decisions can be. Well, not just Manchester United, but just football is a very, very lethal game when it comes to their directives and that stuff. So, and now the rumors.
No, you're not gonna go put it in term and tell him the first game, good luck at freaking Anfield. Like, you're just not gonna do that.
True. Now Graham Potter is not.
Cody, stop laughing, bro. I like you were
like,
when your camera wasn't on.
but
this career suicide. That's what you're doing. You're telling an intern to do.
If you bring in a new,
so go to Anfield with these bozos and good luck. Like, there's no intern that's gonna do that.
It's great. No, the question here is really the question. Hold on, Joseph. Hold on. The question is really simple. They want to get rid of him. Everybody does. Everybody in the world thinks that Ten Hag should be out. It's okay. Wait until Anfield kills them. That Liverpool kills them. But is Graham Potter the solution for this team?
No.
Anybody?
Absolutely not.
See, I don't think any manager is a solution though. Like, it's gonna be the same cycle over and over again. That's why, even though I'm not a United fan, I think you should kind of be patient with him. Obviously, like, no manager is gonna come in and nothing is going to be different regardless. They might have a new manager bounce and you win a couple of games, etc., etc. But that always happens with Man United. Like, you're gonna have to go through growing pains with someone at some point. So you might as well just see how it goes.
Yeah, that's what Chelsea's doing right now. They're just they're not going to sack this dude, even though as much as I want to get him sacked, he's not going to get sacked, and they're going to let him go throughout the rest of the season. But
let me just lay my single point of understanding
what this though is different though. It's different. Here's the reason why. Okay? Because this is my point, my original point about this all is this team is a mishmash of players from 4 or 5 coaches ago. Okay? So like my whole entire point from the beginning is you're not going to switch this team's style of play or the way that they play, what way that they could play football effectively until you take out these core pieces that you keep on using and replace them with different core pieces. Like, it's just as simple as that.
Every fan knows that, Joe. I think every fan knows that.
You can't expect to be playing like Barcelona football with Harry Maguire at the back.
But he doesn't. He said he doesn't want to do that. He said he doesn't want to play the Ajax way. He said it. He said it clearly.
Because he knows you can't. You've got Scott McTominay still playing in midfield. Like,
exactly. My point, McTominay.
But
these are 2 players they try to get rid of in January.
But then let me ask you then Mo, then why in this world is he trying to do that? Because he clearly has been trying to do that, bringing his players first of all, and the way they're trying to play this year, last season is way different.
Okay, the thing is, right, and everyone knows that the Man United fans. I don't know your name, bro. Sorry, but
Kevin,
just having Lisandro Martinez in this team changes a lot. Like just having Lisandro Martinez in this same Man United team changes a lot for Man United. They're playing out the back defensively. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So there's obviously injuries at Man United. They've had more injuries than anyone else. I feel like just give him the benefit of the doubt. They had a very, very good season last year. They overachieved last year. They finished 3rd. They comfortably went to the champ. I mean, they went to 2 cup finals. They did okay in the Europa League. I feel like when you have your core players back, he hasn't even been able to integrate Mason Mount yet. Højlund is a young striker. We know we've seen that he's got potential in the Champions League. Obviously, hasn't clicked for him in the league yet, but he's a good player. So,
but Mohammed, 1 second, just because you said that name, do you actually think with Garnacho or Rashford on the left wing and Antony, or hopefully when Ahmed comes back with his knee injury in a few weeks, like Ahmed is our only hope for Højlund's creation? Because
I mean, and Bruno Fernandes, who's the best creator in Europe.
Yeah, well, yes, but he is as myself, I rate him, but most United fans don't because they think he's trash and he plays hero ball. But he's the 2nd highest creator in the Prem since he's been here in 2018. But that's beside the point. But the one thing I have to say is what I was saying before you joined.
Why is the
is
Liverpool
when
fan shaking his head? These are all facts, by the way.
like
Last year, he created 122 chances. Even this year, when Bruno's having a down season, he's created almost more than anyone else in all of Europe. So I don't
So,
know. I don't know
but-
why you're laughing. Your best
So, but what
creator,
I'm
a
s-
right back. I don't know.
You know,
I
you know
hate
the reason
Liverpool,
why I'm
by the way.
laughing. The reason why I'm laughing is because you're putting Bruno on this big pedestal, but then when I talk to other United fans, they're like, "Oh, thank God he's
I'm
not."
not a
gonna...
United fan, by the way. I'm just someone who appreciates Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think,
hear what you're saying.
and I feel like Ten Hag is being unfairly judged because
Nah,
his
I
biggest and most important piece is Lisandro Martinez. And that is a criticism, by the way. He relies too heavily on Lisandro Martinez, right? But with Lisandro, that changes everything for them. And Bruno Fernandes is an exceptional football player, regardless of how you feel about him. Take that out of the way. Watch Bruno Fernandes. He is the single most creative player in the world at times. That's just Bruno Fernandes, whether you like it or not. And the numbers say that too.
But my thing is with Bruno, like I'm saying right now, my thing is in big games like the game at Anfield this weekend, for example, he got a yellow card. So some United fans are saying, "Oh, so Bruno
yeah,
got
but that's
this."
such an easy scapegoat. Wait, before you continue, that's such an easy scapegoat for him to go. Everyone knew, yes, it was him, Shaw, and I think I'm missing one player's name just in the top of my head. They all got a yellow for interference with arguing with the referee. Yes, the scapegoat as a captain is yes, he can be a good player. Is he the best captain? No.
Yeah,
but guess what?
So he doesn't need to be that, right? So he
I mean,
doesn't have
who
to.
else
See,
you give
he
it to,
doesn't.
though?
He doesn't have to have that.
Who else in
that
Man United do you give it
responsibility.
to? You took it off Maguire. Give me another player in Man United that you give the
no,
captain's armband to.
number one,
Marcus
that's
Rashford, who walks around the pitch.
But number
He's
one,
the only logical answer.
but look, number one, that's a mistake, right? Taken away from Maguire,
Not
thinking
really,
that he was
because
going to leave.
No, I tell you why it's not a mistake. Maguire shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. Maguire is not good enough to play. So how's
but
your
he
captain
is.
going to be playing? How's your captain going to be
No,
playing?
Mohamed Salah is right. Mohamed Salah is right. Big up Mo. Because you know the funny thing is I see United fans now doing this Maguire hype, but then I remember back in the summer transfer, he was trying to sell two of these players who are now saving his season.
Granted, he's been good
Maguire's,
recently. Maguire's been fantastic recently. Like he's been very, very good.
Exactly.
But
And
he's
when
not
I
Man
look
United
at
caliber, regardless. You know, they're
when I look at
they're dying right now.
If they ever want to evolve, if that club ever wants to evolve, they need to move on from the likes of Harry Maguire and McTominay. It's
And
just
Guys,
what
do
it
you
is.
do you understand though the aspect of what if you guys played the sport, and I think we've all done it if we just or not, but if you're a captain of a team and you get your armband taken away from you, you do not stay at that team. You either request or you
Maguire
leave
has no shame, by the way.
immediately.
Maguire has zero shame, by the way. Maguire has no shame.
Like to understand how he's still
He
performing
had
to this
so
level.
many opportunities to leave this summer, by the way.
Is
There was like 5
blasphemy.
clubs that
Like,
wouldn't have minded him. He has zero shame.
Like, do you understand though? Like, if you play,
But doesn't that? But the one thing though that you can say that take it in the positive way that you can kill him all over the world, social media, every pundit, everybody, 90% of the world is killing him. And
yeah, because his
it
family
doesn't
puts him
phase
up on his social media
It
every
doesn't.
time. If
It
he does
doesn't
something
phase
right.
him though. It doesn't phase him. That's a positive thing, Mo and Kevin. That's a positive thing for.
Okay. One thing I will give Harry Maguire. He's a decent player. My thing, he's not a Man United player, but he's a decent player, and
He's the perfect center back for West Ham. Like the perfect center back.
For a team from like 6 to 12, he's very, very good, right? He's a very good
Harry Maguire on Everton, he would be a world class.
Exactly, and that's why Man United paid 85 million to get Leicester. Like Leicester were in that 7, 8, 9, 10 range, and he was fantastic for them. But that's his level. He shouldn't be playing at Man United. That's what I'm trying to say. But I do agree with you. Him being able to come back from that and him being able to still perform at a decent level and not let his confidence like die after being humiliated essentially is a positive thing. He's just not a Man United caliber player.
You kill me when he said he doesn't have no shame.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He should have left. He had multiple opportunities. He should have left.
He could have left to West Ham United. But
then
look,
again, no one's gonna pay him what he's being paid at Manchester United. So that's probably why.
But again, before there's a perfect point there, just by Mo. Do you understand the levels? Like everyone thinks Casemiro, Varane, and Sancho are gonna leave in January. No club is gonna come up with a big enough offer and a big enough wage packet per week to get these players out of the club. No one is paying Varane $325K a week.
That's why Martial has been there for like 6 years.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. But listen, I don't understand how.
Look,
go ahead. Finish your point.
Like, no, I was gonna try and go to
No, go
elaborate
ahead,
on my point before.
The thing is, they could sell them.
No, it's like-
the thing is, they could sell them. The problem with it is they won't get no money. They will get barely any money for these.
But
guys.
the point, look,
Thank
man,
you, Joe, for
the point. But it's not about the money though, Kevin. You want everything to go your way, bro. But it's not. You're not gonna get 10 million, 100 million pounds from Maguire. He needs to go whether he's free.
But we all
cheap.
know that the Glazers don't.
Yeah,
Listen, bro.
it's
Okay,
that's the thing.
I
Bro,
get
no,
that point.
Every
it's
fan,
the
like,
truth,
no,
bro,
wait.
because until the new owner for us came in, we
Oh, yeah,
had
Chelsea
deadwood
suck, by the way.
all
Like,
over the place.
United's in the
that-
mud. But Chelsea's like so deep in the mud. It's crazy. Like, because
Yeah,
your
but
owners
you
genuinely
know
don't
why?
know what they're doing.
I'm stressing it like that. You want to know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Because like at this point, that this season's a white, like it's gone. Like we can't have
I don't
any
think Chelsea are gonna,
expectations.
I don't think Chelsea are going to be good for a very long time, in my opinion. I mean,
Hey,
but
you could think that, but this
Then you
this
see-
owner,
They got too many
this
young players.
owner
But
that we
we'll
have-
talk about Chelsea. Go ahead.
this owner that we have proves otherwise. So that's
Oh.
all I'm saying.
So
Okay, now
let
let-
me
let's
just
get-
go
let's
bring
go
it
back
back
to
to my point, though. The one point I have, Chris, before you continue. When you think about people in this squad that we currently have and their wages that they have and the price that we bought them for, like, say right now, I think Anthony's the worst ever signing other than Bebe for United ever. Like, I can tell you this right now. But guess what? We bought him for 85 million pounds. Will we ever get rid of him for less than 70 or a free contract? No. That's what we would do. We'd wait for at least 70.
But he doesn't
or
have to
go
play,
on a free.
Kevin. Nobody's putting a gun to the manager's head, and you know what I mean. At the end of the day,
who else is going to play though?
Yes,
Who else is going to play on the right
Who
wing?
else is going to play?
Yes.
The only other option is Pellistri. They tried playing Pellistri for a couple of games. Everyone, even I'm a big fan of Pellistri because I've watched him play for Uruguay and he looks like a decent player. But he's
Yeah,
played
he
for
looks-
United and everyone's like, okay, cool. He's not it. Like, there's no other option apart from Anthony. That's the issue with Man United. Like, there's
Well-
no. I mean, when Ahmad comes back, that
That's
changes. things.
also, but to be honest, the reason why there's no option is because the manager has beef with players. So if we were still on good terms with Sancho,
He's done everything wrong, man.
That's not. I mean, bro, Sancho. First of all, it's 100% Sancho's fault, in my opinion.
No,
Like,
it's not.
You don't tweet at the manager. What do you mean? You
No,
don't
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
tweet about your
Mo,
manager.
It's one to tweet at the manager, but then
Thank
Mo,
you. Like,
Listen,
look, we can
listen.
all understand. We can all understand right now. Sancho
let
right now
him-
with Højlund up top would work wonders on the left or
Okay,
right
but
wing.
let
But guess
Cody
what?
finish his point,
Like-
though. Let's finish his point.
All right, go.
My
Cody,
point
go.
is, so what happened when Ten Hag came out with the Sancho use? They asked him what's going on in the Sancho. He's like, he hasn't been training, he's been lazy, right? And then
Yeah.
He
Sancho
didn't say that. He didn't say that. That's not what happened.
Didn't
That's,
say those words at all.
He didn't say those words.
Oh, you're too smart for that,
paraphrasing.
man.
I'm not
He
saying
didn't say those words.
Listen,
Oh,
I'm not
he's
saying
No,
it
not
no.
as
up
a
What
to
he
par.
said
He's not
was,
up to-
no. He said at Man United there's a certain standard, and some players will be left out if they don't train well. Do you know what I'm
What does
trying
that
to say?
mean?
It wasn't just him though,
So
because
that-
Martial was also left out of
No,
the
no,
squad
no,
at the
come
time
on,
too.
Let's not be
But
disingenuous.
how come Martial is back on?
Because he didn't
Martial
talk out
didn't
against his
respect
boss.
manager.
You telling me that Martial is doing a better job at training than Sancho? You telling me
It
that
doesn't
Rashford?
come to that point anymore, though.
No,
Like,
but
guys, you need
I
to
want you to get my point out. Wait, let me finish my point. So then Sancho comes out and says, "Look, Ten Hag, you lied, right?" So essentially, what Ten Hag should have said about Sancho is like, "No, he's been sick. He had a flu. Something. Just lie. Managers lie. I know with my gaffer, Jurgen Klopp, he lies a
do-
lot.
Bro, you do realize Eric Ten Hag gave Sancho 6 months out for his mental health and welcomed him like his own son when he
true.
came back. Like, you do
He-
realize that, right?
he-
And
he
hugged
took-
him and cuddled. Do you know what I'm trying to
him-
say? Like,
he
Ten
took him to
Hag
Holland.
actually
He took,
supported.
no. But you
Ten
can
Hag
say
actually
he did that for his
supported
mental-
Sancho, and then this is how. And also, does Sancho even deserve to be supported? He never runs for the team. He never works for the team. He doesn't contribute anything to the team. But Ten Hag still put his arm around him and said, "When you need the time, go take your time. Go train wherever you want to train. Go do what you want to do, and then come back when you want to come
But
back."
it's not.
It
It's
is
not.
the-
But Mo, let me counter that because he doesn't have the same energy when it comes to Anthony, who's been accused of something much worse than calling a manager out. He still puts him on the
he was
bench.
accused, but the women first, they dropped that. That's first and foremost, right? But Anthony, regardless of how bad he might be on the ball, he doesn't stop running for the team.
And what about
That's
Rashford? Does he run? How much did he run with Newcastle?
Oh, Rashford's been terrible. Rashford's been
He's been
not
horrible.
running.
Are
Rashford's
you
been
an
horrible.
Arsenal fan?
Oh no, I don't support any. I don't
No,
support any.
yeah, he's Napoli.
I'm a Napoli fan.
All right, look,
You're a
Mo, I
Napoli fan.
appreciate the spectrum.
I did grow up
understanding
with
United,
Chelsea
but
games.
There's
though.
one thing I have to
live in
say.
West London.
One thing I have to say on Cody's point. If you said to your boss tomorrow, "I don't like you and I don't trust what you say," into the public, what would your boss do?
Okay,
fired.
so first of all, if my boss came out and said, "Look, this guy hasn't been putting in the work. I give him this and I give him that," and then I'm like, "No, boss, but you're lying and I hate you," then
You're gone.
I,
You're gone. Guess
Yeah,
what?
but
but
I had never seen a manager call out his players for being lazy. I'm sorry, I know
that's
Mo
what I'm
said that he didn't say that, but come on, we're smart here. We know what he's meaning.
let's be honest. Like my chat is a manager is not supposed to do that. A manager is not supposed, and you have to be a certain caliber of manager to be able to do that. If Sir Alex Ferguson did that, he would have gotten away with it. But then now we also have to look at the era of football
He never
we're
did
in.
that.
He never did that, and
Okay,
we have
Are
to
you
look
now-
gonna say Sir Alex never did this?
When did he come out? When did he come out and say David
Oh
Beckham
my
sucks?
gosh,
Doesn't even
bro.
run back.
Are
He
you
didn't-
are you kidding me?
And
Dude,
so
Sir
give me
Alex
an
made fun
example.
of players. Sir Alex made fun of players. Do you understand
No,
how
Sam
ruthless?
Alex has made fun of players. That's right. He has made fun of players, but that's because he was a mafia. That's how I like describing Sir Alex Ferguson, because
Well,
he was
and he also had the you know, he could do it at the end of the day if
he had
got to that point.
on one hand, see, this is the thing with football fans, right? On one hand, you say you need a manager to control his dressing room and you
Yes,
want him to have all the
but
authority.
you have to be.
But then
You
on the
have
other
to
hand, you're saying you don't like the way he deals with things. I mean, all
but
own way of
listen,
dealing with
Everyone
things.
has a personality that's different.
Yeah,
No one has the
man.
same personality.
But you can't treat everybody different.
You're not gonna like my opinion on this. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go
You're
ahead,
not
because
gonna
we got to go ahead, give your opinion, but we have to steer it to Graham Potter because he's going to be the savior for Manchester United. So go ahead.
I don't think they're sacking Ten Hag. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna sack him after.
Let Joe get his point in. Go ahead.
I think Ten Hag scapegoated Sancho because he didn't end up getting the players that he was wanting, and he knew that this season wasn't going to go the way that he wanted it to go. So he started right from the
What is
beginning.
this random as like
But
opinionated?
hey, you wanted my
philosophy?
opinion. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to like it. I said you weren't going to like it, Kevin. So you can.
Okay, now, but look, Mo, you say that you don't think. I don't know. I can't remember the time when I've seen a manager survive this many hits.
I mean, you guys are acting like he's in the relegation battle. He's still sixth in the
No,
table.
no. Not about
He's-
relegation battle. Oh, let's look at the amount of records he's broken. Ever since he said eras come to an end, how many things has he broken?
like Hamza, man.
Come on, man.
Let's look at that.
All right, but let's
No,
actually
okay, no,
talk
record-
about
record-
You don't get
record
that
aside.
into the whole Jim Ratcliffe
He's
thing.
still,
That's-
he's still. I mean, people are acting like the ship is sinking. You feel me? It's not that bad. And also, they've had no. Okay, if you want to be reasonable, they've had more injuries than anyone else. Like, it's difficult to keep something like that.
That's not true, bro.
More
That's
than
literally
Newcastle, more than
not
Tottenham.
true.
Chelsea has
That's
Okay,
not-
and now
Chelsea has
Chelsea.
injuries.
Okay,
No,
at the start of the
Chelsea has
season,
injuries.
Chelsea had a lot of injuries. But over the last 3 or 4 weeks, who's missing? The only starter you're missing is probably Nkunku, and that's it.
And Lavia.
Against Man United, which player was injured for Chelsea that would have started that game? Please enlighten me.
and Kunku.
That's
Reece
it.
didn't start that game because he was injured.
I mean, okay, Reece, Malo Gusto. Okay, cool. Who else?
He wasn't out on the pitch. Mal Gusto wasn't on the pitch either.
No, I'm
Who
saying
talking
James
about?
is no
We didn't
longer
have a right
even like in conversation
Gilmore
with
wasn't
best
on
right
the
backs in
pitch.
the world anymore.
We
Fofana,
like,
you
we
said
keep
Fofana.
on going.
Man United-
Everybody
Man
has
United-
injuries. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to
Exactly.
hear about it.
Exactly.
Everyone got injuries, bro.
Liverpool
Everyone.
is-
But there's levels to it though. There was a point
No,
Man United
there's
are
no
playing their
levels. We
third
don't have a
choice,
DM. We don't have a DM.
and that's your fault because you didn't purchase a DM. That everyone in the world knew for the
But-
last
but-
3
but
years that you
to-
needed
to
a
be-
DM.
To
Get
be
out
fair,
here, man.
Cody, Klopp don't want any. He has his
That's
DM.
your fault.
Him.
Like, that's not an injury related
No,
situation.
it's not that Klopp doesn't want to give. Let's be
Like,
honest.
Okay, now
Well,
again,
there's a point that Man United are playing their third choice centre back at left back because 3 of their left backs are injured. They're playing their 4th and 5th choice centre backs at centre back. No other team has been like that. You're playing Hannibal Mejbri, Kobe Mainoo, 2 teenagers with
But you're
McTominay
not
in
though.
midfield.
He has those options on the
Oh
bench.
my
He has Varane. He has these guys on the bench. Like
Yeah,
he's
what-
not.
what-
There was a point where Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Reguilon, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, and Malacia were all injured. That's 7 of their 9 defenders. They were all injured. You're playing Amrabat at left back because all of your defenders are injured. Like people like to be disingenuous
No,
when it
but
comes to Man United.
listen, Mo, listen. But Varane came back and manager beefed them. You understand?
But
Manager-
guess what? Look, the thing is, what you're not understanding is, I understand what Mo's point is, and what just like I appreciate his knowledge of football. The one thing you need to understand of the team is he understands weaknesses and strengths of players. So obviously his talents of Like, his education of football is bar none compared to ours. If you don't think Varane can do a job where he's needed, he doesn't start them. He then brought him in 2 games in a row and then costed us the Copenhagen game. Like,
Well,
do you understand? That is when he dropped on form. Varane costed us the Copenhagen game. He came in.
But bro, we're not talking about that. I'm just talking about injuries.
No. So
in
what Cody is saying is, you guys don't think Varane. If you lose, if a
like,
player,
if you're gonna, but you can't consider them your fourth and fifth center back.
I just told you, Varane and Lisandro Martinez
what
were
does
both
Ten Hag
injured.
do other than
You're playing
one
Johnny
or two
Evans
parts of the field
and Harry Maguire at centre back because you have no other options.
So I don't think you're playing devil's advocate a lot more, and I kind of hate it. I'm not gonna lie. You trying to make it? No.
What are you talking about?
How? I'm giving you facts.
My point is,
all of these players are injured. That's why Man United aren't doing well.
right.
Okay, so let's get to the point. So Mo, you think that in next season, starting from 0, that this would be a much better playing team? It would be.
We saw Man United play well last year when they finished third.
But they try to play. This is a different type of football than what they're trying to accomplish this year.
Yeah, no, I know, but obviously it takes time to get to that. My whole point is, if you want to sack Ten Hag, fine, because of all the records he's broken, etc. But I'm just saying, you're not gonna get to something in 18 months, regardless of what you do. That's all. I mean, if you feel like Ten Hag's at fault, that's fair. I'm just saying, managers deserve time to implement what they want, especially when they've signed a lot of players and those players haven't been able to gel yet due to injury. That's the only point I'm making. Like, I'm not defending Ten Hag. Well, I am kind of defending Ten Hag, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot more. There's context.
So is your point? I want to see something. Is your point the same with Pochettino?
Absolutely, 100%.
I agree with that on Pochettino.
100%. It's unfair for a manager like Pochettino, for example, who's been given 7 or 8 new players that have signed. Cole Palmer signed, Nkunku signed, all of these defenders, right? You can't get to where you want to get to in 3 months. It's been September, October, November. It's been 3 months. I completely get it. Pochettino shouldn't be sacked and Ten Hag shouldn't be sacked. Pochettino should at least be given this year and next year to try and implement what he wants to do. Like, I'm not in the business of continuously sacking managers, because the same thing is, who would you want as a Chelsea manager next? Say you get De Zerbi. It's gonna be the same cycle. Man United is the same thing, regardless of who you get. It's the exact same situation. So I'm just saying, every manager, like, give them a reasonable amount of time, unless they're completely stinking it up, which Ten Hag isn't, because
kind of completely stinking it up.
Because he finished third a year ago. We saw him do well at some point.
But the only thing is, like, wait, guys, let me just, because the only thing that why I said when I first got on here is I don't trust him anymore at this point. But guess what? I don't make the decisions. If I'm proven wrong, by all means. I'm proven wrong. If they don't sack him and he changes it, I'm going to sit here and say I'm wrong. But guess what? The one thing I have to say is he came in last year and exceeded expectations, got to 2 finals, won a cup, and finished third. Right? He then played a counter-attacking double 6 type of pivot last year. Casemiro was one of his best players. This year, he's playing this leave the 6 alone, 2 8s, or 1 8 that's like really, really high up, and then Bruno as a 10 that's playing high up and destroying us because our midfield is non-existent. Yes, we have Scott McTominay in there, and he's just hiding because that's what he does. It's his job to hide on that field. But you have to then realize, in my opinion, because I'm emotionally attached to this club, is if you're not going to understand the weaknesses and try and cover them and just let these weaknesses just fly, is he doing it to say, is Sir Jim going to come in and say, wow, I see your weaknesses, here's a few hundred, and go buy players that will help your weaknesses? Or is he just doing this to say, what I'm trying to do is just not working at all?
But let me point this out, because I'm popular to what most people, the way they think on football. I'm a Newcastle supporter, but I love heritage football, and I want these teams to do good, just because it makes my childhood come back again, right? And I know how could you support it? I want these teams to do good. So, but analyzing what Kevin and Mo been saying all stream, that need to give them time, that they're not doing too bad, right? I understand that point. But we are looking at this match this weekend against Liverpool, and everybody in the world is agreeing that they are going to get slaughtered. So if they're not doing too well, how can Manchester United, possibly one of the biggest institutions in the world of football, look at Liverpool in the eyes and say, yeah, I understand you're probably going to murder us this weekend? How can that be okay? How can that be progress?
But who comes, Chris, like before you even finish your point,
No, I finished.
who in the right mind is going to come in and say, hey, be like, if they sack him tomorrow, right? Terrible decision because the game's on Sunday. But if they even sacked him on Tuesday night, who comes in and even does better than what Ten Hag is going to try and do and probably play exactly similar to what he did in Bayern? Because we played control football. Just like who does that different? What changes?
The thing is, I don't think he's going to get sacked right now. Like the whole thing is there's too much turmoil. There's too much changing of the guard going on at the top at Manchester United. So like until that whole changing of the guard actually happens and like Jim is in place making decisions, like nothing's going to change.
But Joe, Jim isn't making the decisions. That's what people don't understand. Like, yes, Sir Jim is coming in for 25%, and he's has the footballing decisions.
He's making footballing decisions.
But he has professionals that do it. But he has professionals that do it. He's going to then hire Jan Blanc, Paul Mitchell.
Correct. That's my point, though. Like, until that all happens, though, they're going to bring their own guy in. Is my point.
Okay.
Yes, but right now, why this all went wrong?
It might not be right now. It might be at the end of this season, bro. But like they're gonna want to bring their own guy in. That's what new owners do. Like
we all know that. But then yes, if Sir Jim comes in and brings the CEO and brings the DOF and wants to do it, I get that. But we all know that right now, when Ten Hag came in under the Glazers, he said, "I want control of everything." That was a huge mistake. We all can understand that, and that is why a lot of United fans right now are turning on him because he wanted all this power. He wanted all power control, recruitment, transfers, the youth teams, how they play, and then lastly the starting 11 and 25 squad. He wanted all that power, and he failed at us. So now, like what I said, right now, I want nothing to do with Potter if Ten Hag gets stacked. I want the other. If anything, right now, if we have Zidane is not coming. No Sean Hill. He always said he doesn't want to come to England. He doesn't even know English, so he doesn't want to come. Potter, his literally win percentage and points per game is at 1.1 at the 4 clubs he's been at. No, thank you. Screw that for how many games. And the whole Brighton stuff he did, yeah, cool. Win 48 games, lost 48 games. Not as good as what he did. Went to Chelsea and just threw away his career, basically. And then, like, look, Lopetegui is the only right now viable option in my eyes. But guess what? What's going to happen? We don't have the choices. So what I'm saying, Joe, is the easiest thing to say right now is if Sir Jim comes in.
You're taking it out of context. He's not going to get fired right now. He's not going to. He's probably going to end up getting fired in like the new year, bro. After the new year, like after the season's ending, is what I'm saying. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Like, neither of our managers are going anywhere, is my point. Like, neither of them. I know my manager's not going anywhere. Personally, I know my manager's not going anywhere.
But I know Pochettino's not going to get sacked at all. So.
Like, what?
Pochettino's not going to get sacked at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to stay. Ten Hag has. So, look, I obviously nobody – I don't really grade Graham Potter, to be fair with you. I don't. And to your point, and I don't know if Mo may – well, he wants Ten Hag to have more time. And maybe the reason why I
want to be proven wrong. I've said this multiple places. If I want him out right now, personal thought and emotional thought, I would like him to leave. But I have no other choice, and I'm not a director of football or a recruitment team that knows someone to come in. So right now, stick him out if that's what they want. But again, if I'm proven wrong, I'm putting my hands up in all the podcasts I've been on and said, look, I'm proven wrong and I'm happy as hell. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've said it all the time.
Ultimately, to be fair with you, if you start to think there's no manager that actually breaks the mold. I mean, it's only if you like Pep is not coming and Klopp is not coming. So I don't know what manager is that one dude that you think he can come and they'll listen to him. To be fair with you, I said it in the beginning of the season. Manchester United have a bunch of players that are good. I don't believe that Casemiro crap that he is bad. You know,
No, I said in the
but
beginning of the stream.
if he is alone in the middle, then nobody can defend like that. And for me, I think what Ten Hag has done, lost their locker room. They don't believe in him. They don't, and ultimately he keeps changing players. And you can't. There are fundamental things in football that don't never get old. I don't care what you say. The goalkeeper doesn't move. The center backs don't move. You need to give them time. They move as a single unit. You can't be switching center backs back and forth and acting like
when
it's
you
just a
don't have
strike.
anyone else
But we
available.
can't. But we can't.
I
Not, so we have
understand
7 out of 9 injuries. What do you want us to do? Though?
I understand that. I understand that.
They've got 9 defenders. 7 of them have been injured at some point this year. You've had a midfielder
But
play
then
left back.
So maybe getting out of the Champions League was good for them since they have so many injuries. They getting out of the Champions.
This is the first time I'm hearing the injuries in the Manchester United. By the way,
probably a good thing.
This is the first time you're hearing it.
Yeah, this is the first time
I'm
I'm hearing
Crazy.
people use as a reason, not as an excuse, as a reason as to why their team is not performing. So the main reason why Manchester United don't perform well is because of the injuries.
I think one player comes back and changes how Man United play, and that's Lisandro Martinez, and that raises a lot for them, in my opinion.
Okay.
I can't say one player, but I can say the level of trust and confidence it's going to give the team. Like I've said this on this show and a few others. As you can see, our back line right now has zero confidence when they get the ball. They don't know what to do with it. Scott can't turn if he even decides to come back. So if he's facing his own goal, the ball is going out for a throw-in. He doesn't know how to turn on the ball. When you have someone around you that has confidence that can come touch the ball, like Martinez, it will show growth and it will show improvement. I can't say right now that one player can come in and change this, but what I can say is confidence will eventually decide if the players want to start playing the way that he wants to play football. So we'll see.
All right.
But it comes to there.
We'll see. Let me read P. Morton's comments real quick out loud. That way, we show him some love. P. Morton says, if Ten Hag wanted any player requested, he should have jumped to Chelsea. Well, I don't know. I don't think Pochettino asked the players that he wanted, but they want to start Bissaka after a year on the bench. Okay. Well, injuries. Pochettino never gets there though. GPS is mad squirrely, whatever. McTominay looking like the player of the month. Well, because he's talking about because Maguire got the player of the month and Ten Hag got the manager. That man, I sometimes not even the Premier League. The Premier League makes a disservice to Manchester United. They don't have to do anything, but I'm just saying, like, it's just.
I mean, they were. I mean, in November, they won 3 games in a row and they kept 3 clean sheets. They look good and like it was a good month for them.
It's not about the table; it's about the form of the games. Like I can't say Garnacho scored the goal of the month easily. If you coach a team to win 5 in the month and 3 Prem and concede 0 goals, what else do you want? But yes, I mean, the table.
You kept 3 clean sheets. You got 9 out of 9 points in the Premier League. I mean, I don't. That one's not. If you want to debate one, you can debate Maguire being player of the month. I get that you could debate if you want to. But manager of the month and goal. I mean, Garnacho scored the goal of the season, maybe goal of the decade. That's.
You guys do know that.
There again, they're goal of the decade mode. Like
you guys do know that
exaggeration. But I was goal of the season.
Like an EA player of the month, and it's like based off of like for a FIFA card and. It's like literally like it could just become a popularity competition if it wanted to become a popularity competition very easily.
That is true. By the way, 67% vote that they think Graham Potter would be good for Manchester United. 33% say hell no. Just keep that.
Can tell you why Potter will ruin this club.
Okay, well, all right. Now let's move on. Talk a little bit of the Liverpool Man United. That's to me the derby of England. You know, this is where the masses get together, and it's a big match in the world. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll finish with Arteta getting his charges dropped, and maybe do a little finish up and talk a little bit of other important matches if we can. But Liverpool Man United, man, how can at the end it is what it is. These teams are going to play each other this weekend. So. Let me get Cody's perspective on the Liverpool side. what do they need to do to beat this Man United team? Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be tough? What are your thoughts, bro?
So first of all, when United come to Anfield, there's always a bloodbath. You know, the past season have proven it, but for some reason, and I might be the only Liverpool fan because every season I think and I feel like this every time we have to play Man United, just because I have the respect for the heritage of the club and whatever, I just feel like no, it's not going to be as easy as people think. I mean, before the 7-0 that happened this season, I thought we were going to beat them 3-1. And the reason was it's just Anfield. And now I'm looking at the type of football we've been playing, the players that we have brought into the club. I'm like, do we really beat them with a high score? So for me, I look at for the fact that Alexis McAllister is injured, so I'm also going to do injury prop. So Alexis McAllister is injured, and
Well, because he's your 6?
Yes,
because he's the only 6 that club bought?
That is a fact. That is a
It
fact.
is a fact.
He's not even a 6.
No, he does play.
But that's the club wants him to be the 6. You can't tell the man what he likes.
So we have Wataru Endo, who was brought in from Stuttgart. Clearly not good enough for Liverpool Football Club, but Jurgen Klopp sold the club the dream that Endo is the man that we need. And now watching today's game versus USG, that told me one thing in the first half. I'm like, big man, you cannot hold your ground, because he easily gets bodied. Even in the Palace game, he was easily bodied. So in this United game, Jurgen Klopp is going to play Trent as a DM. I'm telling you, this is going to be the starting 11. It's going to be Gomez. It's going to be Konate, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, and then he's going to play Szoboszlai. He's going to play Trent, and then he's going to play, I think, Gravenberch, and then he's going to play Darwin Núñez, Salah, and Diaz, because there's no way Jurgen is going to play Wataru Endo as a 6. Because we saw in the game versus Palace that he tried to do the ball playing 6 thing with Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I look at how United have been playing. I'm like, they shouldn't really stress me. I've been sleeping peacefully lately because I know that we have Man United coming up next. Okay. You understand? I didn't even stress about the game today. So I feel like going into this game, it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but my club is not complacent, especially when it comes to the derby, because it is the Northwest derby. So it's not going to be a thing of no, Liverpool is going to be complacent. Darwin Núñez is going to go out there and be a force. Mohamed Salah, you know, he likes scoring against Manchester United. The shirt is going to come off, you understand? And maybe Diaz, maybe Gakpo gets a goal in there. But I don't think it's going to be such a big score. I feel like it's going to be like a 3-0, 4-1 type of scenario. And then I look at United with the injuries. I think they don't have Mount. They don't have... Hey, there's a lot of players. I can't even name all of them. But I know that Mount is not there.
We haven't had Mount in weeks.
He don't care for him.
Mason Mount, Wan-Bissaka, Lissandro Martinez. I mean,
like,
Amad Diallo.
So my point is
Casemiro. Maguire is now injured.
Lindelof is almost as better than a ghost, but I don't know.
So let me go ahead. Finish your point, Cody.
Okay. So my point is, they're gonna probably play Kobe Mainoo, who has been very, very good this season.
Well, that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna let the United.
I think he's gonna keep the same 3 in midfield, which I don't like, but I get, because
if he does do the same 3 in midfield, then I'm gonna say now we're beating them by more than 4 goals. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. So I guess everybody else, how can we agree that Manchester United are in lesser form than Liverpool? I guess we can agree to that. How can Manchester United beat this Liverpool team away?
I mean, you employ this
2 6s. Sit back with 2 6s. 2 guys as wide as they can be. Play hoofball and play on the counter. Like, that's what they got to do. Like, they can beat them with pace. They've got the pace to beat. They can beat them with pace if you use the pace the correct way. But they have to play a way of football that they would have to revert to the way that they played last year, in my opinion.
Right.
Where it's
go ahead, Mo.
It's like you got to get the long ball game going again.
I mean, I think they employed a perfect game plan against Arsenal this season away at Arsenal. And you just got to do something similar to that, try and keep the ball when you can and try and hit, and then like just take your opportunities when they come. I mean, they were millimeters away from beating, arguably the best team in the Premier League this year.
We were literally Garnacho's.
Yeah, it's
away.
millimeters away from getting an upset. And Man United played well that game. They had more of the possession in the first half. They played well, but then obviously Lisandro Martinez and Varane got injured in the exact same game, and then obviously you put Evers and Maguire in 2023, and obviously that's when it went downhill. But you employ a similar type of game. You try and keep the ball when you can. You try and limit them as much as you possibly can, and just hit them on counter attack, I guess.
Kevin?
The main thing is if we play what Joe was saying, if we actually play 2 6s and we play on a counter, we could get a point out of this. It really just depends on who starts as our fullbacks, because if he wants to do something, if Ten Hag decides to do something a bit crazy here, this can get really dirty. But if he does something similar to the Arsenal game or the Bayern Munich game just recently, even though we didn't win and we didn't get a great performance, we played very compact football and we knew that they were going to come back. And it just depends on that. It's our midfield that's wide open. So if what Cody says, if Trent plays in the midfield, it's going to be a lot harder. But if he plays on right back, we can easily get through. And it depends on what overlap runs happen. Because if no overlap runs happen with the Liverpool defense, there's tons of gaps there too. It just depends on how much ball we have. Because if we play smart ball, we can get a point out of this. If we want to go out and play the same way we played all year, it's going to be a wide open game and it's not going to be a fun score. So there's 2 things in here. My heart says it's going to be a high scoring draw somehow, but it's just not.
All right.
I was watching the Chelsea game, and even though Man United played so well, I was like, "Yo, they're playing Liverpool in a couple of weeks. If they give as many opportunities to
that's the issue. If our opportunities are that bad, the reason why it was 1-0 against Bayern is because Varane, and he was playing on his preferred side, and he put a masterclass in. If we give opportunities, this game is going to be over in 25 minutes. Unless Darwin Núñez is on ball, but that's a different story. But there's issues with this club, and we all know it. But there's a huge issue is the confidence, again, of these players. If they want to go out there and go to Anfield and have confidence and go play, then go do it. If they want to go out there and think they want to play for a manager and want him sacked, then it's going to be a disaster of a game. And we just don't know. It's their mind and their legs.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up this stream, man. It was a nice one. And let's just finish. Give your points, your takes on Mikel Arteta not being charged with anything. I mean, that's, to be fair with you, this is old news, but it was confirmed. There's a lot of bureaucracy in the United Kingdom. People get punished 10 years later, which is nuts. But I mean, I do agree that at some point you got to keep it level, because if every manager comes out and says there's corruption and the referee and this and that, then it does, the integrity of the game, suffers a little bit. But I don't, to be, it's been so long, I don't remember really what exactly he said. So he's not going to get punished, not going to get charged. Final thoughts on that?
Over the Newcastle thing. Remember, after the Newcastle game, he was complaining about how the
referee. Yeah. But
so I never thought he would get charged for it. He eventually got his yellow card accumulation, and he spent the game out. He spent the game on the box. They ended up suffering for it last time, so he's gotten his punishment.
That should be enough punishment, right?
Yeah, he's gotten his. You don't need to keep on punishing the guy. I think these referees, I think in all sports across all professional sports in general, have been very, very, very questionable.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Especially with the widespread of gambling.
Yeah. So for me, with the Premier League refereeing this season, it's been absolutely horrific. It's been rotten to the core. I think managers, if every manager of every club came out and stood as a unit and went, look, we are sick and tired of this refereeing, because referees have more power. They have more power.
I'm just going to tell you right now, this is all for money. The TV money that the Premier League gets is why they're allowing this to happen, and they're allowing this type of drama and this type of stuff.
It creates parody, right? Like
it's broadcasted everywhere.
Creates drama. Drama creates ratings.
It creates clicks, and that's the thing. So with managers, if you hear Jurgen Klopp speaking about what happened against us and Tottenham, and he speaks out on it, they're like, oh, Jurgen Klopp likes to moan. He likes to talk about referee decisions. If Mikel Arteta the next week comes out and says this, Vincent Kompany comes out and says this, it surely shows that it's not just one manager who's at fault. It surely shows that the refereeing system is rotten to the core. And it then begs the question that, is someone allowing this to happen? And Kevin just answered it. Someone is allowing this to happen. They're doing it for clicks because they know it's gonna sell on papers. They know that it's gonna get talked about, and then they get away with everything. I mean, if you look at the game versus Tottenham versus Man City, Simon Hooper didn't play that advantage. And if we shameless, that could have been a goal from Grealish. But then
but Grealish is a terrible finisher, so we never know that.
That's the thing.
Well, yeah, but it's still a bad call. I mean, we can't.
He's not the fastest. Also,
it's a terrible call. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry about that, Cody. Go ahead.
I was saying, with Grealish, he's not the fastest, so we're not really gonna know what was gonna happen there. But the refereeing needs to be structured in a different way, and I don't blame Mikel Arteta for the way he's been acting the past few weeks. I genuinely understand how
everybody's been punished, even teams that people don't talk about, like Wolves per se. They were punished against Newcastle, and I don't know if we gave away or we got a penalty. We got a penalty for that one. Shouldn't have been.
United. Yeah. When Onana basically
Onana, yeah.
All right, the real thing we have to understand though is like Premier League referees and VAR are doing terrible calls.
Yeah.
But the terrible calls is the thing. The accusations to get a manager banned for him saying the truth about bad calls is
you can't go too far and say this is I've never seen it in 10 years.
No. What I'm saying though is 45-year-old men complaining to their boss saying a dude is calling me names is a bit embarrassing to try and get someone dethroned from their position. Like we need to understand that these people are grown men and they're complaining because they called him a stubborn POS. Like, guys, grow up, grow some hair on your back, and come back to your job and pull the offside flag up in the air when it's offside call, and then deal with it in the future. Like these are grown men and emotional grown men. Like. They're going to say some rude shit when it comes to it.
Let's finish with Mo's point.
This is going to sound a bit controversial, but I feel like refereeing decisions are kind of played out. Like it's not like, for example, Arsenal had 0 shots on target in that game against Leicester against Newcastle, but you want to complain to the referee that you got 0 points instead of 1 point. You were horrible. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And even last week when Arsenal got slapped against Aston Villa, they want to talk about, oh yeah, we should have had a penalty. Again, you had 2 shots on, like you had like 2 shots in the entire game. So these refereeing decisions, they shouldn't happen. And like, for example, I'll say one team that did get robbed. Liverpool got robbed against Tottenham Hotspur because Liverpool played very, very well. They got 2 red cards. But when you lose 1-0 in a game where you didn't deserve to win anyway, and then you come out and say, yeah, but it was the referee's fault. No, you were terrible. That's just the truth. Like refereeing decisions are
bad. More than one moment that is the entire game is your point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the referee hasn't been good. They may have cost you 1 point, but it's not that wasn't the reason the game was lost. The reason the game was lost was because you guys weren't good. You had 0 shots on target in the game. So you can't, like, I feel like, yes, referees affect the game. Sometimes the referee can have a really bad game and it affects your game and whatnot, but it's not, I mean.
Who remembers the days?
Not the end of the world. We got to finish up.
The days when we just complained about the referee in the paper and that's it?
That would have been it. Now we talked about them heavily, man. It's because of
there's a couple of games I can remember, like, for example, Chelsea 2009 against Barcelona. Like, that referee cost them the game. Yeah, that is acceptable because that referee legitimately cost them a place in the Champions League final. It's not that Chelsea played badly or whatever. Like, Chelsea were
we were awesome on that day. So.
Yeah, like you're playing the greatest team of all time. But yeah, anyway, guys.
Yeah, we got to call it off, man. It was a great stream. I appreciate everybody coming on. Kevin, Joe, Cody, Mohammed. Appreciate everybody coming on, man. Thank you for taking the time. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.